You are listening to The Burning Truth. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Matt Burns, and I will state I have probably got some explaining to do, especially seeing as the previous week I was originally meant to be doing an episode on the Saturday. However, unfortunately, I couldn't do it on the Saturday because I forgot about that I was attending the Academy Pro Wrestling Ground Zero event, which unfortunately I could not miss, seeing as I already missed the previous one due to health and weather. And I will state, so glad I did not miss it, because it wasn't. I didn't go alone. I took some friends with me, and they also enjoyed the show as well. Fantastic show. But I would dive into that more often, a little bit more. But unfortunately, I can't because wait till the review. I will be getting that out soon, hopefully soon. As soon as it's out, that should be on all of my social media. Most likely be advertised strongly on Facebook. But in case you want to read any current reviews, past reviews, articles and whatnot, just go to the website www.theburningtruthuk.com. Yes, I know, I was just doing a cheap plug for myself. I know, but can you blame me? I've missed a whole week. Now, that was the explanation for the Saturday. Now, originally I planned to do one on the Sunday instead. Unfortunately, I couldn't actually do one on the Sunday because as it was coming closer to the time to recording, unfortunately a friend of mine was currently unwell and needed to attend to the hospital and needed some help. So I thought I'd provide some assistance, make sure they got there safe, and make sure they were seen to. And I will state, how many hours of wait? How many hours? To some it might like felt 1, 2. It was 6 to 7, massively more. I felt when I got home I wasted away. I felt like I lost a stone. Probably have by now. But anyway, just thought I'd explain that. However, just to make everyone aware that this episode will be the last Saturday episode, because I will be now moving the actual episodes to Sunday. The reason why I'm doing this is because I've noticed that my wrestling schedule, wrestling show schedule and broadcast schedule have been clashing a lot lately, and I feel as though if I'm doing a lot of pre-records and me calling this a broadcast, it's not really fair and it's not really honest. So I am now actually effectively moving the episodes, the broadcast episodes, to a Sunday. So hopefully we should be getting, I should be getting on more often, more live, and hopefully bringing the best, as much quality news, laughs and whatnot as I can. And maybe even an additional guest or two. At some point, I'll probably get raided at some point. I just as long as it's not the place or anybody who will get me in trouble. That's fine with me. Now, I've got a lot to catch up on. Now, some of the news I will be actually talking about today, on today's episode will be previous week's news. I do apologise. Unfortunately, with me having a busy schedule, it has actually caused a bit of a dramatic issue, and because of it, I will be covering some of the last week's news, but with a bit of an update from this week. Like, for example, I noticed that when I brought up on our social media that Jeff Hardy was arrested. Yes, he was arrested in regards to of a DUI and whatnot, but he was actually released that day, and to much of a lot of people's shock, the WWE have got involved but didn't actually take him out of the Ultimate Deletion for Raw. So because of that, it continued on. So the good thing about it is, who knows, we could actually be... well, technically a lot of people can say, but that wasn't Jeff Hardy, that was Brother Nero. They're the same people, folks. Just to point that out. But it's good to see that WWE are still giving him the leeway and whatnot in regards to it. But I will state, at the moment, you know, in the past 2 or 3 weeks, he hasn't been the only celebrity with a vehicle criminal charges against them, because there's been some issues over in the UK. But I'm not going to get into that, because I will state the people in question, in some cases, they do feel sorry. As you know, I can understand if they're down and whatnot, but I just hope they get the help they needed. I will state the punishment that they probably are facing is correct. However, they probably, if they are going through a bit of a hard time, there should be some leeway being given. But anyway, moving on. Now, a few weeks ago, we had Brock Lesnar and whatnot not turning up on Raw again, and we also didn't have Ronda Rousey on Raw either, which was quite interesting. Now, with Brock Lesnar, they seem to be developing a bit of a nice little feud for him and Roman Reigns. Now, because of it looks like Lesnar's getting special treatment and whatnot because of his past accolades with WWE and the fact that he's been in UFC and he's done quite well for himself. Now, Roman Reigns now a lot of people are saying, oh, he's the top guy. He's a Vince McMahon guy. Yes, but lately, on the way they've been portraying him, he has been producing some quality promo time. And I will state that this week for Raw, I feel so sorry for Roman, because he finally gets his break, he finally gets over, and then some additional news comes in and could possibly take over him turning full face. Well, not full face, actually getting accepted as a face. But that the person in question, I will be discussing that a little bit later. Now, for Brock Lesnar, it's quite interesting the fact that they've got him on and off again on Raw. So they are bringing up the development. They are building up for WrestleMania, and it's getting quite interesting because you've got Brock coming and going as he pleases and whenever he wants. And Roman Reigns, he's turning up day in, day out, busting his butt, even when he's getting suspended. But what was so clever was the fact that you had Roman Reigns getting caught for trespassing, and Brock Lesnar takes advantage of the situation. Now, in some cases, a lot of people say, "Oh, that was just vicious. That's strong." In some cases, it doesn't make Brock look strong. But at the moment, there is still rumour that Brock Lesnar could be leaving WWE, so they could be downplaying the Beast. To make him not look as strong, but even so, it still did. Brock still looked good in this segment, and Roman came off looking like a massive babyface and getting plenty of sympathy, with Lesnar viciously attacking him with the steel chair and beating on him while he's handcuffed, tied to a gurney and everything. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes off it. Now, as I said, with Roman being suspended, now what I didn't mention earlier when Roman Reigns was suspended was the fact that you'd also got Roman Reigns was actually suspended because he called Brock Lesnar a Vince McMahon guy, and that Vince McMahon showing favoritism. And what was so clever is the fact that they peeled a bit of that curtain back and whatnot. I've probably already discussed this, so if I'm repeating myself, I do apologise. It's interesting to see how they are handling it. It's absolutely brilliant spot, can't fault them. But at the same time, with him turning up in regular street clothes from the crowd, it's still working. It seems to be working for Roman Reigns. Now, that's all been discussed. I'm just going to move on to Ronda Rousey. Now, Ronda Rousey it's supposedly meant to be on Raw every week. Now, all of a sudden, the announcement of her being on every week has just suddenly dropped off the face of the earth. We don't know what's happened. We don't know where it's happened. It just seems quite shocking that it's happened. The fact that she's not on been on Raw, but that news information is already gone. The news flash, she'll be at every Raw till up to WrestleMania. That news article suddenly disappeared. Now, what's interesting is the fact that when she wasn't on Raw, they decided to put on the show like Alan and whatnot, which was interesting because she was actually bringing a different crowd. At the same time, she might not have done WWE as much favour because some of the topics they discussed in the way it was discussed. She might need a bit of training and a bit of practice with some WWE talents who will probably give her some guidance in regards to them sorts of interviews. But that'll come with experience and come with practice because she supposedly has got a full-time schedule, and we all know that Ronda Rousey is a massive fan of the wrestling product. Now, this week with Ronda Rousey, she was supposedly involved in a Raw exclusive deal with Dana Brooke. Now, I do agree that the whole idea of making Ronda look like a badass, trying it. What would have been better is if Dana went to throw something at, throw an arm at Ronda. Ronda takes her down, puts her in an armbar, instant tap. Panics, bang, 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 she's breaking my arm. That would have sold the fact that Ronda Rousey was notorious for being an arm claimer from UFC. She was notorious for her arm bars. She was, most of her matches in UFC were won by, victory by submission. What a submission? Arm bar. Sorry, just to quote Chris Jericho, the infamous, move 346, arm bar. Move 544, arm bar. You gotta love Chris Jericho. You really do. But hopefully, in regards to Chris Jericho, hopefully he'll be making an appearance back in WWE. But it might not be anytime soon. But there is rumour that he could be involved in next year's Royal Rumble. Which I'll have more news on that a bit later. Now, in regards to the whole deal with Ronda Rousey against Dana Brooke, I will say the segment looks okay, but it didn't look right. I think what would have been better if it was a certain... I don't know with the throw that was done. I don't know if it was Dana wasn't used to being thrown like that, or if it was something, the way Ronda threw her. The landing just didn't look right. It didn't look normal. Now, but even so, she still looks tough, but if she's going to be doing stuff like that, what WWE should have done is probably had to do a quick takedown into a submission, 1, 2, 3, quick tap, bang, 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 over and done with, and had to scarp her off. That would have been a great way to set up Ronda and make her look like... She still looked badass, but I think if she went with the armbar, she would have just looked that much more vicious. Now, the next topic, and I will state this, is a lot of people have been caught off guard by Braun Strowman. Get these hands! The monster among men. I will state the current affair. I honestly was begging him to be in the WWE picture. Begging. I couldn't see him anywhere else. Until 2 weeks ago. Well, not last week, the previous week. Him walking out on Raw and basically going through the Raw tag team division and absolutely decimating it. Or, literally getting the referee and saying, ring the damn bell. If you're a referee, would you argue with Strowman? Hells no! You wouldn't argue with him. He's the monster among men. He's massive. He's absolutely gigantic. It's unbelievable. But what was even more unbelievable and really good, and this is for Strowman, is the fact that Strowman managed to win the match and somehow got himself in WrestleMania, going for the WWE Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania, Raw's WWE Tag Team Championship at WrestleMania by himself. Now, there's two ways this is either going to happen. One, Braun going to go out there alone, which, if he's winning, if he isn't, it's one of them. If he isn't winning it, I understand if he goes out alone, but then they've got two guys beating someone who needs to push. He needs to push massively right now, and if he does win it, you've just buried the Bar, who have done really, really well for the WWE Tag Team Championship. Now, the only other, that's one way, him doing it himself, or there's the other option, which is the option I think will most likely be the one that gets picked on, which is Kurt will find him a tag team partner for someone to fill in. Now, there's a lot of rumours, and I hope that one of the rumours is very true, because I have absolutely been loving this guy's work. If it is true, if this person becomes Strowman's tag team partner for WrestleMania, that'll be it. I'll be done. I will love it. It will be amazing. But at the same time, it'll also mean he'll have to become a face. And this might surprise people, but when I mention this, the scary thing about it is, what they wear on the shows when they're wrestling is sort of similar. Very much so. But the style will be an interesting mix, I think. Now, the person in question I'm on about is Elias. Yes, Elias. He has been absolutely killing it. He's been getting cheers and everything. Especially with the, what does WWE stand for? Walk with Elias. It's getting over massively. And it's amazing on how much he's working. He is really trying his best. And I think he's talented with the guitar. The fact that he acts bad with it, the funny thing about it is, I've actually heard him play Oasis Wonderwall when he was wrestling. I've seen clips of him when he was in the UK doing Wonderwall and whatnot. He's brilliant. Run with it. Run with it. Could be. But the good thing about it is, if Elias is aligned with Strowman, that also gives Strowman and Elias to either claim the titles and put somebody new on the top of the mountain, or it will allow the Bar to beat them, because Elias can take the pinfall, which won't damage Strowman's, his sort of effectiveness as much. He won't be hurt as much from the loss and whatnot. Now, I will state, I hope they do pair Strowman with Elias. Coming soon, Strowman walks with Elias. Now, I am going to get on to some additional news from Raw, which is to do with John Cena. John Cena challenged The Undertaker, and I will state, finally come out, finally, and whatnot, and I will state, when he first did it, was like, oh, we saw it coming, but the promo we cut was absolutely scathing. It was brilliant. I can also say it also had a hint of, is Cena going to be turning villain just to face the Taker? What's going on? But it's brilliant. I absolutely look forward to seeing Cena and Taker if that match happens. Because Cena is literally digging Undertaker, saying, saying you think you're too old, you think you're this. Apologies for the cough, folks. You think you're too old. It's not you're too old. You're not this. You're not worn out. It's just your damn ego. Oh, straight away I was like, oh, he's going in. He's going in. Now, I thought it's interesting because Taker hasn't answered yet. Well, it might have been an answer, but not directly. He hasn't answered, and I cannot wait for when he does answer. Now, the rumour, some people are stating, is Taker coming back as the American Badass, especially with Kid Rock being being inducted. Hey, well done, Kid Rock. But more people that's going to be inducted is, the world's strongest man. It's what I do, Mark Henry. Congratulations to Mark Henry as well. I do apologise if I just feel like it's just a bit of a flyby shout. I will cover most likely the Hall of Fame. When it comes round the WrestleMania area, I may even do a Hall of Fame special episode where I'll discuss each member of the Hall of Fame and what my personal views on them as well. That would be an interesting way of covering that. But I digress. Moving back onto it, seeing the challenge of The Undertaker, a scathing promo, saying, he's not man enough, it's your damn ego and whatnot. I was waiting this week for a answer from The Undertaker. However, what was interesting is you didn't get an answer directly. You got Kane come out and literally just chokeslam Cena to oblivion. And what was so weird is nothing was answered. It's clever. Because the question is, was Kane answering for Undertaker? Boom, chokeslam. Accepted. Or was he chokeslamming him to challenge Cena himself? Who knows? The only way you can find out is by watching Raw next week. But anyway, I digress, and we'll move on from Raw and on to other news. Now, what I'll do is, instead of going on to the big SmackDown news, I'll cover the Rusev news lately. Supposedly, Rusev, this is old news, I will state it. Rusev supposedly sent out a celebrity challenge. He wants to challenge a celeb at WrestleMania. And somebody answered. Somebody actually answered. And the funny thing about it is, the person who answered, Macaulay Culkin. God damn it. I gotta love it. You've got to love it. It's Macaulay Culkin. Home Alone. Home Alone 2. Richie Rich. It's just pure genius. And if that match had happened, I'd have to see it just for the giggles. I will state though, it would be a comedy match. It will be full of the old shenanigans and whatnot, but it'd be a good entertainment. However, Rusev turned down the match, but I will state in a very, very respectful way. I don't think I could just beat up the kid who played Richie Rich or Kevin McAllister. Absolute genius. I will state, if that match did take place, WWE, take my money, I'll be watching that either way. But I would like to see Macaulay Culkin involved at WrestleMania, involved to do with Rusev. It'll be interesting to see if this continues on. Now, on to the big news, which is, it comes in two parts. I'm not going to mention this week's, I'm going to mention the previous week's. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens finally got what they wanted. Shane McMahon leaving SmackDown for some time. Daniel Bryan to be running the show, being in charge. And they haven't got to worry about Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon even give Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn a match against each other, albeit. Okay, Matt, you could say he's pairing them off against each other and whatnot, but he's still giving them a special match against each other at WrestleMania, which would be a great match. Now, what was interesting was their reaction to it. Instead of accepting it and, blah blah blah, and trying to course it and whatnot, and use Daniel Bryan to twist, turn it and whatnot, instead they outright viciously attacked Shane McMahon. Now, what was so interesting in this attack is, and I will state, they made this attack vicious. It was brutal, barbaric, from pillar to post, up and down, absolutely brutal. And what was so devastating about it is, at the end of the attack, it was sort of where they powerbombed Shane onto some like metal stuff. The noise that Shane McMahon made, it goes through me just thinking about it. And I actually wondered if that he did end up injured from that, because there was supposedly a rumour that Shane McMahon could have been injured from it. So the time off couldn't have been any better. But I was quite surprised that they did that as the last thing for him to take before he's going off. They shouldn't have done that, I don't think. It was just the noise when he hits that. You can tell that must have hurt. Must have. But, hopefully Shane McMahon's all fine, and we will hopefully see him coming into WrestleMania, most likely involved in an angle with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But I'll be getting onto that angle shortly after the fact that instead of being, Shane McMahon is crazy enough to take them both on, but he's going to need a tag team partner. Now, I'll get to a tag team partner. Right. Oh, potentially. Oh, wait. I don't need to. I'll do it right now, which is somebody got the all clear by WWE doctors. Somebody got the all clear who has been waiting for over 2 years to get this all clear. He has been fighting, scratching, clawing. He has been doing everything to do it in his power to get back in the ring. His fans have been hoping for him to get back. It was literally getting to the point where people were just thinking it's just going to be a dream. It's only going to be a dream. Well, folks, it's no longer a dream. It's a reality. Daniel Bryan got the all clear. Now, let me just state this. Yes, on social media, we did put up breaking news when we did post it on our Facebook page. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to say breaking news. It was meant to say something along the lines of WWE wrestling news. Unfortunately, just for quickness, just to get it out because of the short schedule, it got put out. So I will state, cheers for the fan who pointed that out to us, stating it's not really breaking news. You're a bit behind. Yes, we were a bit behind. Well, thanks very much for pointing it out. If anybody sees any other furthermore mistakes on our social media or websites or anything, just give us a notice, let us know, and we'll hopefully correct it. But fingers crossed, there shouldn't be any more corrections in regards to that. But anyway, back onto topic, back onto it. Daniel Bryan has now got the all clear to wrestle. Straight away, Daniel Bryan comes back. And the speech he gave, especially when he mentioned, Brie Bella with his wife and whatnot, it goes to show how much he does treasure her, and how much he does actually, they both care for each other, and you can clearly see that just from the promo that he did, and the fact that she was saying, "Fight for your dreams, and your dreams will fight for you." Amazing promo, absolute respect in regards to it, and I will state. But continuing on, now later on in the show, because he did that announcement at the start of SmackDown this week. Later on, Daniel Bryan called for Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn to the ring. Daniel Bryan was clearly showing some favoritism. I mentioned, he even said it. He was showing favoritism to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens because he thought Shane McMahon was wrong. With his mistreatment lately. However, unfortunately, he agrees with Shane McMahon with the fact that, that they should be punished for what he did what they did to Shane McMahon. The fact that the attack team, so he now must fire them. He fired them and said, yes, I understand you are fired, but you're not gone forever. You will be back. You will come back. I've been in that position and whatnot. Shook hands with Sammy, shook hands with Kevin, and then they attacked Daniel Bryan, who was literally he didn't even have 24 hours to get in the all clear from the WWE. Now, this attack was quite vicious for a while, but what was so interesting, it quickly shows that Daniel Bryan hasn't lost a step. He was hitting the yes kicks, he was literally beating the hell out of them both, but the numbers game eventually caught up, and Daniel Bryan unfortunately took a ring apron powerbomb. Now, WWE is actually questioning, has that all clear already been gone on the Town Hall? Me personally, I don't think now. I think next week Daniel Bryan is going to be coming back bigger, badder, stronger, and it's going to lead to something. You know what it's going to lead to? A WrestleMania match. Didn't I mention earlier that Shane McMahon would most likely be having a match against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens? Wouldn't Shane McMahon need a tag team partner? That'd be interesting. Oh wait, we've got the yes man, Daniel Bryan. He'll fit perfectly right into there, and that I can see happening. If it doesn't happen, Daniel Bryan should be wrestling at WrestleMania. He needs to, especially with the fact that how long he's been waiting for. But Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan, that will be an interesting match. Very interesting. Anyway, moving on to other subjects. This news I'm about to mention is some old news, which is the female battle royal that was mentioned for WrestleMania. For the WrestleMania was originally in honor of Moolah. Now, unfortunately, it's actually supposedly being renamed because, in regards to the Moolah has, as much as she is a legend, she does have a lot of controversy that comes with that name, with the Fabulous Moolah. Because I'm not going to go into full details of what the controversies are. If anybody is interested in seeing what the controversies are, I would suggest Googling it. However, if you are going to be Googling into some of the supposed controversies, if you are under 18 and whatnot, please do get permission from your parents in regards to it and whatnot. Please make sure you got parental guidance if required in regards to that subject. Now, moving on from that, in the next year's Royal Rumble, it's going to be a big special Royal Rumble. It's supposedly going to be a 50-man Royal Rumble, biggest one yet. Once again. And if they are going to be doing it, it's going to have 2 special commentators. They're bringing them back. It's good old JR and Jerry the King Lawler. Fantastic idea, and I will state, I actually look forward to it because King and and JR will actually do some great work. They've got the chemistry. It's the A-team. Come on, with them. You get them a commentator's table. You put them on the mic. Commentators covered. Done. Job done. A+. But anyway, but I will state the 50-man Royal Rumble for the WWE Network has supposedly been mentioned by Roman Reigns, which that was 2 weeks ago. But there is more news coming out of it, and it is looking more promising, and Triple H is trying to get involved, possibly working on that and pushing it as much as possible. The question is who will be in the 50-man Royal Rumble? Now, this next piece of news is basically just going to be from Impact Wrestling this week. I'm going to be covering it because, yes, I will say WWE have done something for Impact. You've actually allowed somebody to work on their TV time, even though Impact Wrestling is well recorded recording too far in advance, and spoilers get released too quickly and too early. Come on, guys. Why the hell you're recording an entire months potentially ahead? Some episodes make it a week or two, so not as much is being spoilt. Give us what we want and whatnot. If necessary, go live like Raw. But you have tried that, but it didn't go up as well. But anyway, this week, if anybody's been reading the spoilers, much to nobody's surprise, if you read the spoilers in regards to where this person has been wrestling and whatnot, Feast of Fire. There were a lot of people who got their championship matches and whatnot. However, the person who got the pink slip was EC3. He is now effectively immediately on the TV program of Impact Wrestling, gone from Impact. Now, I will state with this now for NXT as well. Don't be doing the same mistake that Impact Wrestling doing and recording too far ahead. Please. We do want some shows being recorded weekly. But anyway, back onto it. What's so interesting with this is that EC3 is immediately gone from Impact Wrestling now, and he will most likely, and this is going to be a spoiler, potentially, he's going to be arriving to NXT soon, and potentially be arriving at the upcoming NXT episode. So be sure to check that out. Now, the last thing I want to be calling out right now is that next week, I think it's next week, I'm just checking my dates, just reconfirming, right, just going through my calendar, where are you? Let's get some pages. Nope, that's not there. Anyway, it's there it is, I've got it up now. On the 30th of March, which if I'm not mistaken, that is Good Friday, and also part of the Easter weekend. So hopefully, if everyone's off work, you can possibly potentially, if you are in Abbey Holton, please check out United Wrestling. Come down, watch the show, which will be at the Abbey Holton Suburban Club. I will state, it will be a fantastic show. If anybody wants to see any of the upcoming matches and whatnot, please check out United Wrestling Live on Facebook. And with that will most likely be a wrap up for the news this week. Yes, I will state I haven't done a full newsworthy and whatnot because I've covered some of the old subjects I was going to be covering the previous week. I do apologise for that, but the thing is, limited time and whatnot. But anyway, I'm just going to give out some cheap plugs, links, recommendations. I want you to check out the UK Wrestling Media. They do some fantastic footage work. I usually work with them for the TBT interviews. Absolutely fantastic. JG Printing and Stitching. Absolutely phenomenal work. As you've probably seen on my Instagram or on my Facebook page, the fact that I've actually had some work done from them. In fact, I'm actually wearing it right now. Can't get enough of it. Absolutely fantastic work. Top-notch guy. If you want some printing and stitching done for custom-made tops, polo shirts and whatnot, JG Printing and Stitching is your guy. On top of that, I would like everybody to check out Changes for health and well-being and whatnot. Just give them a quick check out. It can either be for yourself or help somebody else out in regards to, because you never know. Any information that they do provide can actually provide some help for somebody, and you never know. Moving on from that, I give a shout out to Team 4-Star for always producing great comedy work. Dragon Ball Z Abridged, fantastic. I want to give out another shout out to the New Breed, who will be, if I'm not mistaken, is playing in the Ruby Lounge. It's either Birmingham, I think it might be either Birmingham or Manchester, possibly right now. Probably knocking it out the park. I've been to see them live myself. Recommend them to anybody. And I'll save this one. I'll save my usual one for last. And another YouTube channel to check out is Barely Average Studios. I actually know one of the guys who does it. I believe it might be Makawano. He's actually a former wrestler. Absolutely phenomenal guy. Great guy. He's been doing some interesting gaming. So check out Barely Average Studios on YouTube or their Facebook page, but mostly YouTube. And the next one I want to give a shout out to, it's Botchamania. I will state this, Matthew, you do fantastic work. You always find out all the funniest wrestling bloopers, and you've got that many to come off. I'm losing track of how many that number is always forever increasing. You're always doing great work with it, and it's fantastic stuff. So, as usual, there's your usual plug, Matthew. I will state, if I'm ever on one of your future episodes, if you ever catch me wrestling on it and whatnot, and you got one of my bloopers, I will say I will be a little bit upset you got me on the Botchamania, but at the same time I'll be highly honoured. I will be showing that off because I'll be saying I'll even put it on my wrestling CV, on my wrestling CV as seen on Botchamania. But anyway, the next thing I'm going to most likely plug in is my own website, which is www.theburningtruthuk.com. Now on the website you can actually check out any previous broadcasts, previous interviews, show reviews and articles. We do have a merchandise shop where you can get all your snazzy tops, your cups and whatnot, so please check that out. And hopefully I'll be probably getting more of a blog coming out soon and whatnot, and all the links that I've just mentioned on this broadcast, we have actually got a links page where you can actually go to any of their websites and whatnot, just to mention it to you. So in regards to for this week, that will be a wrap up. So I'll be hopefully be hearing from you next week on Sunday, which should be, if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check. Should be the first, the 1st of April and whatnot. I'm just wondering if somebody's going to catch me on that one, just going pinch punch first of the month. I'll probably get caught out by that. Great. And whatnot. But anyway, I'll probably catch you all next week on April 1st at the on the new day of Sunday. So until then, I'll hopefully catch you at the next broadcast, the next interview, or the next review. Till then, check out your local wrestling and stay safe.